All right, guys. So it's episode number 3, and as I said last episode, we're gonna make a video on the best comment. And Tommy, my client, actually had the best comment, and it was how to avoid complacency in your job, at school, in your environment, just complacency overall. And the craziest thing is, we were complacent for the longest time. We were complacent with just going to the gym, eating healthy, drinking alcohol, smoking weed. We weren't down bad. Like, you can be complacent and still be good. That's what you got to understand right now. If you are complacent, you are probably just not pushing yourself to that next level. You always have to be pushing yourself, because if you're not pushing yourself as a man, you're never going to force your growth, and you're never going to actually be able to go to the next level.
Yeah, and in college especially, like, you guys think, oh, it's gonna last forever, the year's just gonna go by, and I can just fuck around now. But the thing is, the sooner that you try to lock everything in, the better, results you'll see sooner, which is what it's all about. You gotta think of long-term gratification versus short-term gratification. In college, in the beginning, we were like, oh, we have 4 years, we can fuck around, we're not gonna work for 4 years. But the time went by like this, and we were scrambling, to make this shit work so we didn't have to work 9-to-5 jobs, because we didn't want 9-to-5 jobs. If you want a 9-to-5 job, it's totally fine. Get good grades, work a job. There's nothing wrong with that. But we didn't want a 9-to-5 job, but we just thought, oh, it's not going to happen. We can just put it off. But the thing is, if we would have started making videos sooner, started grinding perfectly with our health sooner, we would have had better physiques. We would have known how to make content sooner. We would have been better, with our speaking skills. And that would have allowed us to scale our businesses sooner instead of having to scramble for in the last minute. And that's the thing, like with health too. With health problems, they slowly build up over time. Oh yeah, I got fatter every year. I gained 10 pounds, 10 pounds, 10 pounds. Now I have to take blood pressure meds, heart attack, prevention meds, all these, things, and you get all these negative side effects. Oh, my girlfriend doesn't love me anymore. It's like, if you just would have dialed in sooner and saw the future coming sooner, then your life would be way better.
And like the comment said, like with your environment is going to shape how complacent you are. Now that we're not surrounded by our families, we're not surrounded by anyone else, it's just Dom and I only. We aren't complacent. We are literally striving every single day to get better. Why? Because your environment is going to shape you. You are the average of the 5 people that you're around. You've probably heard that saying so many times, and it's true. It's true. When I was a freshman in college and my roommate was someone who just drank and smoked, guess what? I started drinking and smoking literally like 3 times a week. 3 times a week, and that's when I was the most complacent, because I was surrounded by the most complacent people. If you want to become extraordinary, if you want to go to the next level, you have to surround yourself with people who have the same mindset. Because if you're surrounded by these people who are just complacent with their life, guess what? Like I said before in the last video, it's ingraining it in your subconscious mind. I don't care if it's your friends. I don't care if it's your wife and children. Understand that if you're not around competitive people, you're going to be low test. And when you're low test, you're going to be complacent. Complacency is driven from testosterone. At the end of the day, it's going to come back to your hormones. Your low testosterone gives you no drive. It gives you no motivation. So when you understand, oh, why am I being complacent? Ask yourself, am I being low test? Because when we see these people out at the beach, these people beating off everywhere, the same common factor is always true. They're always low test. They're always low test.
And the thing is, when you're high test, it's easier to go against the grain. Like, I was high test leading into my senior year with him. Then once I started the job, beginning of that summer, when I wasn't with him, I was going on these like training trips to Disneyland and Chicago and Orlando. And I was surrounded by soy boys everywhere, matrix workers, people who wanted to drink. Like, after we do all our training during the day, at night, it'd be like, there's like thousands of interns there and people who are going to be new hires at my big, massive accounting firm. And it was like, oh, let's go in Chicago and drink tonight. Let's drink and go bowling and fuck around. But because my test was high, I was going to the gym at like the hotel gym at like 9, 10 p.m. and then just going to sleep or working. I had a few clients. I was taking client calls, trying to post content. That was when I had like 5 to 10,000 followers.
And it's because you didn't fall victim to your environment.
Exactly.
Like, you're around people who are, oh, let's go to the bars, let's go to freaking Disneyland, let's go do all this bullshit. You're like, no, I actually want to progress. and I want to go do all these things. So we're not saying, oh, don't go have fun. Like, you can still have fun while progressing, but like when it becomes such of a big distraction that it's holding you back, you got to realize like what you're doing.
Yes, and the thing is, if I was lower test, it would have been easier for me just to fall in line with all the soy boy, just give in to the temptations. But the thing is, my test was high from earlier, so I was able to resist. But the thing is, like, imagine if I fucked around in college and I started making videos, but it was like too late. Oh, I'm in the 9 to 5. I'm working 60 hours a week. It's too late. I missed that on an opportunity. But the thing is, if you want to make the change, and you're not that high test right now, but you want to be high test, you want to break out of the soy boy habits, you have to realize and understand that it's going to be harder. You're going to have to do shit by yourself, which you're not used to. You're going to have to eat ground beef and rice when everyone's eating fucking pizza. You're going to have to meal prep, when there's a work event. You're going to have to go to work events, open bars, and not drink the free alcohol and just sit there and sip water. It's harder, but it's worth it. And the more results you see from being dialed in, the easier it gets.
Oh yeah, when I had my internship over the summer in Philly, I had to drive 20 minutes. I knew I wasn't going to have food. Guess what I still did? I meal prepped ground beef and rice, and everyone else at that internship event was eating pizza and salad. That's what they brought, pizza and salad. That's what's going to separate you. Going down your own path. That is the high test mindset. It's creating your own path and being so driven to that path. Because you got to understand right now, 99% of people are going to go down the path that is most followed. And high test men, they do not go down that path. They go down the path that is going to create their own lane, give them the results that they want, no matter how other people feel and how other people react. So that is what is going to get you out of that complacency mindset. When you understand that you have to go down your own path and that you have to create it for yourself, because no one else is going to create it for you. You have to do it yourself. There have been people who have told us, oh, you're crazy for doing this, you're crazy for doing that. And guess what? We've never listened to them. We've never listened to them once, because if we did, we would not be in the spot that we're at right now.
Exactly. And going back to creating your own path, like in my office, there was like 4 floors in this massive building in Philadelphia. Thousands of people there during the week. And there would be like a lady who would push a cart around with like Sun Chips, Doritos, fruit snacks, all these like bullshit snacks. And it's crazy. Like, I would look around, see all these fat people, office workers, like taking them, eating them. And it's like, I see those people doing that. It's like, if I started just giving into my short-term dopamine, oh, Doritos, I'm hungry, I know I would end up like these fat people. You guys will listen to people who you don't even want to be like. It's like, oh, it's a trustworthy rich guy, but he's fat and low test. Like, okay, he's good at making money, but when he's giving you health advice and other advice, you have to be skeptical and you have to go against the grain. But the thing is, if you've never started a fitness journey yet, or you're a beginner, it's going to be a lot harder versus like if you're like me and him, like we're not going to give in to the temptations. But if you've never done it before, it's like, damn, I'm going to have to say no to those free chips, the free drinks, the free dinner. I'm going to have to tell the waiter to cook in butter and ghee and no seed oils. Like, it's harder at first, but it adds up over time, and that's what makes it worth it.
And it all comes back down to like, listen to people who you want to be like. Because a lot of people, they're listening to people who they don't want to be like your fat ass doctor. Maybe it's like your freaking broke ass girlfriend, or your lazy wife, or your low test friends. Like, don't listen to those people if you don't want to be in the spot that they're at. Like, I don't care how close of a relationship you have with them, what kind of respect you have for them. If you do not want to be in the spot that they're at, understand that there is no reason for you to ever take advice from them. Ever.
Yeah, and just because your wife loves you, or your girl loves you, or your boys care about you, it doesn't mean they actually know what's best for you. Are they respected? Are they jacked? Are they high test? Are they motivated? Are they moral? You have to be more hypercritical and be like, it's so easy when you're around your wife all day and she's like, oh, I love you, she's kissing up on you, but like, she wants you to drink. She wants you to eat bullshit food. It's like, how is that allowing you to be the best version of yourself? You have to be with people that actually want you to be the best version of yourself. And you're not going to become that version through drinking, through partying, through wasting your fucking time. It's not going to happen.
And we talk to guys on sales calls all the time, and guys will hit us with like, oh, I got to talk to my wife about it. Like, if you're a grown-ass man and you have to talk to your wife about leveling up your life, she's not going to understand what you want to do, and you're not actually a man to actually take action for your own life. Because the truth is, you're the only person who cares about your life. You might think, your wife wants the best for you. She does, but does she actually know what's best for you? No. So you got to take action on the steps that you want, because as a man, if you're listening to what your girlfriend wants, what other people want for you, you're going to be stuck. You're going to be stuck. Only you have your own back. And until you realize that, you're going to listen to these other people. You're going to take advice from them. You're not going to get anywhere. You're not.
Exactly. And going back to being like complacent with 9-to-5 job, like if you're in a 9-to-5 job right now that you don't like, 9-to-5 job where you know it's not the best, it's not fulfilling, you're not excited to work, and you're not in shape, you're not high test, the best way to start loving the job, or trying to get a better job or a different job that you actually like, is to learn discipline and improve your health and your physique and your mindset and your test through the gym. Because when you're high test, work becomes fun. Even after work, I want to apply to new jobs that I actually like. I'm going to work all day fucking long and it's fun. Because men are meant to work. You guys want to be like, I can't wait for vacation. It's like, you go on vacation for a week or two and then you just go back to work to like the slavery. Like if you want a new job and you don't want to get complacent, keep setting new goals and trying your hardest and spending all of your time trying to improve your business or do the best you can, your job, so you can get a promotion, make more money, branch out, make connections. But if you're just low test, you're just going to do the bare minimum. All these fat old guys who, just have beer bellies and drink. I can't wait for the weekend. Can't wait for vacation for a week, and then it goes by and I'm back in this fucking ass job. It's like, that complacent, pessimistic mindset is not going to get you anywhere. It's not.
So I'm finishing on my ground beef and masala rice. But, that's the whole topic of this video, just complacency. And you got to understand, if you're complacent with something in life, you're just killing yourself. Because the truth is, if you're not progressing, you're regressing. Because everyone's making progress in life. There are people around you who are making progress. There are people around you who aren't making progress. But the people who are going to put all their eggs in the basket and make progress, they're going to lap you. At the end of the day, everything's a competition. We're in competition with each other every single day, but that's exactly what pushes us to become better and to do better, right? So you got to understand that everything's a competition at the end of the day. And a lot of people, they like to walk away from competition. They're scared of competition. That's the most low test thing you can do. If you're scared of competition, you're scared of growth, because competition is what makes you grow. This is why people in the NBA get better and better every single year. You see LeBron James, he's one of the most competitive people out there. And guess what? That's why he's one of the best. If you're competitive, you're going to be one of the best. But a lot of people, they run from competition, and then it keeps them stuck. It keeps them regressing or complacent, and you get nowhere.
And that's the same thing with complacency as well as anxiety or depression. It's like you're basically just avoiding your problems or your shortcomings. You think you're good when you're not. It's like, I'm complacent. My life's not that bad. I'm not broke. I'm not homeless. But it's like, being fat is a problem. Being low test is a problem. Watching Netflix and, going on OnlyFans is a fucking problem. But because you're not dying or you're not on the street, you're like, I can just keep doing this. But when you try to cut out every single vice that you have, that's when you will get what you want. Your life will become significantly better. You cut out every single vice, you will continue to progress. But even with anxiety, depression, it's like, I'm anxious because I'm skinny fat, and I'm scared to take off my shirt, I'm anxious I won't get girls. But it's like, instead of just sitting there taking Xanax to solve the anxiety, it's like, bro, that's a fucking red flag signaling to you to get, in shape, get shredded, get high test, and fix the problem. I'm anxious because I'm broke. Work harder, get a second job, get a promotion, look for a better job. Don't just sit there and be like, damn, I need more money, let me take some prescription because I feel bad about it. This is the pussy mindset in 2025.
You can't run away from action. That's the biggest thing. So many people run away from action. Like, I'll do this instead of actually taking action on what I actually have to do. It's like, the biggest thing that's going to progress you and stop you from being complacent is taking immense amount of action. Whether it's just more that you do, better that you do. Alex Hormozy has a rule, like if you want to scale yourself or your business, you do 70% more, 20% better, and 10% new. So if you just apply that to your life, do 70% more of tracking your diet, 20% better of following routines, 10% new of implementing new things to make your life better. If you follow that mindset or those standards, you're going to level up your life. But so many people, they want to level up without actually taking the action that is necessary. Like when we scale our businesses, there's so much action that has to be done just to go to the next level. But a lot of you guys, you think, oh, I don't gotta take action that badly to really progress. It's like, no, you gotta take more and more action.
Mm-hmm.
Because understand that when you get to a new standard, it's just gonna require more out of you. So you have to take more and more action every single day to go to the next level. And it's not gonna get easier. That's the problem. When you're complacent, it's because the next level's too hard. So that, like, if you're playing a video game and you just beat 3 levels and you see the next level is like really hard, you're just gonna stop playing it. You're like, okay, I just beat 3 levels. It's the same thing with life, but you can't have that mindset. If you actually want to beat the game of life, you gotta keep climbing the levels.
Mm-hmm.
There's no stopping, because if you stop, that's when you get complacent, and that's where you're gonna just sit at for a while. Because some of you guys, you've been sitting at, maybe 200 pounds, 20% body fat, 30% body fat for years.
Uh-huh.
You look back at old pictures of yourself, you look the same.
Uh-huh.
What?
10% new. 10% new. Like, have you tried anything new? I see so many guys do the same shit over and over, and they just expect some different result to happen. Like, oh, I trained for a year and I gained 2 pounds of muscle and lost a pound of fat. It's like, you really think that's the fastest you can see results? And that's when you have to be logical and smart. Like, you guys think you're doing better than you are when you're not. It's like I was posting the same types of videos for a year straight, and in hindsight, I was like, in hindsight, I should have fucking been changing it up like every fucking month. Like, oh, something new, 10% new. But have you even tried anything new when it comes to self-improvement in the last year? Depending on how old you are, like, there's guys who are 50 who probably haven't even done anything new, like, besides, like, new vacation spots.
And
like,
that's why we were stuck for the longest time. We were just doing the same shit. Like, if nothing changes, nothing changes.
Mm-hmm.
We were doing the same shit, eating the same diet, drinking alcohol every single weekend, smoking weed like once or twice a week when we were sophomores, and nothing changed because nothing changed. I mean, same thing for, in the beginning of the summer when we didn't understand like how to actually have our coaching business, how to actually build a business. We weren't changing anything.
Yeah.
So our bank accounts didn't change, right? That's exactly how it works. If nothing changes, nothing changes. And a lot of you guys, you want to make progress without changing your life at all. You have to evaporate. You have to destroy your old self, your old habits, whatever you're doing right now, and completely create a new person so that you can actually go to the next level.
Yes. And you can't be scared of what people are going to think when it comes to change. People hate changing. Change is uncomfortable. People hate being uncomfortable. So if you want to become the best version of yourself, you're going to have to change, which is uncomfortable. And other people around you will be like, oh, what the fuck? Like, your boys who you thought you were your best friends, they're going to judge you. Oh, you're not coming to drink with us? You're not coming out to Chipotle with us? What the fuck, bro? It's like, no, I'm trying to get jacked. I'm trying to get high test. I want to be the best version of myself. I don't want to be insecure. But some of these people might not realize it. They can either come with you on the journey or you have to leave them behind. That's the same thing. Like, if I decided he wasn't really in the 9 to 5, he was ahead of me with, the fitness business, like way ahead. And I was thinking about just deleting the social media accounts, just going to the 9 to 5. Like, he would have had to leave me behind. He would be here printing fucking.
But he knew that what he was doing was going to make him complacent at the end of the day.
Exactly. But
and you just got to run away from complacency, because if you find yourself ever in a situation where, oh my gosh, I'm going to be doing this job for a while, that's just going to make me complacent. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be around this girl who's not on the same journey as me, it's going to make me complacent. That's the whole idea of this video. Like, you got to run away from complacency and become the best version of yourself.
Yeah. And the thing is, though, he would have had to leave me behind. Like, I'd text him probably still. I'd like see him every once in a while, but I'd be in the office 60 hours a week and he'd be fucking living in Florida, financially free, making racks. Like, that's a sad reality, but, if I didn't make that change, you would have left me behind. That's the thing. You need to just cut off the bad people, hang out with people that will make you better. Because that's how it is. Like, you could be like, oh, my best friend and my wife, they care about me. But, like, if they're not making you better, they're holding you back. You have one life. There's 8 billion people on Earth. Why would you settle to surround yourself with fucking losers? I don't understand. Like, if I was going into that job, to him, I'd basically be like, not a loser, but, he's a successful entrepreneur, hundreds of thousands of followers. Like, I can't really be on his level. I would be below him, and I wouldn't really make him that much better. So it's, survival of the fittest, kill or be killed, and you can't settle. If you live till 80 or 100 years old, that's no time on this earth. You can't settle for less.
Yeah, I mean, God gave you, for all we know, one life on this earth. Like, you might as well make the most of it. A lot of you guys are complacent, but you're not looking up to God and actually talking to God about, like, where you want to go. Because, Jesus was never complacent with his religion and him spreading it.
Mhm.
And so why would he want the same thing for you to be complacent?
Mhm.
And you got to ask yourself that, and you got to talk with him with that, because if you don't, then there's no actual deeper meaning.
Mhm.
There's no deeper meaning for you to, actually go out and get something.
Mhm.
And that's what you got to realize. You got to realize God is watching every single action. If you put some bullshit in your mouth, God sees that.
Mhm.
If you're sitting on the couch at night when you could be working on something better, God sees that.
Mhm.
And when you actually have that realization, it's just going to push you to that next limit.
Mhm.
Not only just with the friends that you're surrounded by, but with that relationship with God, to actually take a massive action and to just go all in on what you want to do.
But the thing is, it's so easy to be complacent in 2025. Like if you think about 400 years ago, no AC, no electricity, no cars. You would be in a fucking mud hut or a cabin. You would farm all day, hunt for food. There was sickness. Like, bro, if you have a house and a computer and AC, you're living like a king. Like 400 years ago, you're living a 10x better lifestyle than the fucking king.
There's so much opportunity in modern day life. Like there's no excuse for you not to be exceptionally great. There's literally no excuse. We're literally recording a video. We're recording a video on an iPhone right now. You guys are probably either watching this on an iPhone or you have an iPhone. You could do the exact same thing we're doing. We're no different than you. We're just taking massive action. The opportunity is out there for everyone. Whether you want to be jacked, whether you want to be rich, whether you want to have a hot girl, whatever it may be, all the opportunities are out there. It just comes down to how badly you take action and you destroying your old past version of yourself to become the new version of yourself.
Yes, and nothing's guaranteed. There's no luck. But the thing is, if you build yourself up to be the best version of yourself, you cut out the vices, become jacked, become smart, you're setting yourself up for the stars to align when that hot girl meets you, or that business opportunity meets you, or you make that one friend who can get you a good job and you make more money. If you just keep working on yourself, you're setting yourself up to have the best odds. If you're playing fucking roulette, you could put fucking chips on every fucking number on the board and fucking win. But if you're just smart but you're fat and out of shape, you're just putting like 1 or 2 chips on the fucking board with all the numbers. Like if you want to maximize your chances of success, cut out the vices and try to become the best version of yourself in every aspect.
It's really all it comes down to. You just gotta destroy your old version of yourself, take a massive action, and you will create the version that you want. That's the biggest thing.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like we covered the main things. But if you're around bum ass friends, if you're in the office every day, you're feeling tired, after work I don't have energy to go to the gym.
And that's the thing, like people want to be our friends now, and we're like, we don't even want to be friends with them because we know, like, one, everything is an exchange of value at the end of the day.
Yeah.
If you're giving a company money, if you're giving someone money, you're exchanging money for value. So you got to look at friendships the same way. I know it sounds kind of toxic, but they should be giving you value, you should be giving them value, so that you both can level up at the same time. So you got to ask yourself that when you're with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they're not giving you value and you're giving them all this value, like, how good of friends really are they to you, and how much are they going to help you level up?
Exactly.
That's the biggest
And we
thing.
started at the same level, basically. I mean, he was ahead of me in the gym, obviously. Started making videos before me, but that's the best thing. If you have a boy who's like around your level, you can build together. But if I hang out with Andrew Tate, I can't really offer him much. Maybe some nutrition advice. That's about it. But he'd be like, "Oh, I'm 10 times richer than you. I have 1 million cars. I'm smarter than you. I can speak better than you. What am I going to gain out of you? Like, you're below me." It's like, it's a sad
Exactly.
reality. But if you want to level up, it's better to find someone on your level so then you can make it big. You're together, and it's like, damn, that's what it's about. It's a real friendship.
Yeah, literally.
But
But yeah, that's pretty much the whole video about complacency. Comment what topic you want us to talk about next. I know this video was a little shorter, but we just really wanted to focus on that topic alone. So comment what you want us to talk about next, and we'll talk about it in the next video, which will be tomorrow. So comment what you want, and we'll see you guys in the next one.